Alright, you just got inside the truck. You're going to put your seatbelt on. You're going to perform a safe start. Clutch in. Gear neutral. Start the truck. We go to the pedal slowly. Tell the DV examiner my ABS light came on and came off within 10 seconds. This is a good test for the ABS light. You have two gauges. You got the primary gauge. You got the secondary gauge. We're going to be using the primary gauge. Before you say anything, the first test you're going to do is your governor cutout. Before you do anything at all, you're going to pump down to about 100 and look for the upright needle movement. Alright, the needle's moving up. This is when you're going to tell the DV examiner, I'm going to perform my governor cutout. My governor should cut out no higher than 140 psi. I will begin my test now. Point at the gauge and look at it. Make sure your finger's not in the way, just like that. Alright, my governor cut out about 131 psi. This is a good test. If the DMV examiner asks you, how do you know? You're going to tell them my needle stopped moving at 131 psi. Not because you heard the breather spit out air, but because the needle stopped moving. Alright, you wait till the needle settles. As you can see, it settles about 121. Now you're going to tell the DV examiner, I would like to perform my governor cut-in. My governor should cut in no less than 100 psi. I will begin my test now. Brake pedal, do not slam. Gently push. Look at that gauge. See how much needle moved? That's how much you need to move. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By the way, you're doing mental counts, not out loud. And you're pointing at the finger and you're looking for uprising of the needle. It didn't move within 10 seconds. Again, gently look at the needle, how much pressure I'm putting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Needle still hasn't moved. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, my needle just cut in at 111 psi. This is a good test. Alright, don't say anything. You're going to wait until the needle, you have a full tank. Clutch in, turn off the ignition, brake in, push both out, release both brakes, wait till the needle settles, push on the brake moderately, wait till the needle settles. Alright, I'm going to perform my applied leakage test. I shouldn't lose more than 4 psi for a combination vehicle. I like to begin my test now. Let's pretend we just waited a minute. I like to wait about a minute and 5 seconds to 10 seconds. After it's done, All right, this is a good test. I lost 0 PSIs in 1 minute for this combination vehicle. The next test would be your low pressure warning light. It should come out right here. And that should occur between 50 to 75 PSI. 55 to 75 PSI. That's 55 to 75. I messed up, spoke too soon. I will begin my test now. Now this test, you can now firmly push. Alright, mine low pressure warning came out at 70 PSIs. This is a good test. My next test will be my pop-out, low pressure warning pop-outs. That should occur between 20 to 45 PSIs. I will begin my test now. This one again, push firmly. Boom. When you get close to 25, push and hold. 25, push and hold. All right, my pop-out occurred at 20 PSIs. This is a good test. Now, you're gonna start up the vehicle. You're gonna do a safe start. You're gonna put it in neutral. Clutch in. Neutral. As the needles are rising, you can do your in-cab inspection. You're gonna tell them, oh, my seatbelt, it latches and unlatches. I got a little fray right here, but it's not so serious. I'm gonna check my city horn, my highway horn. Make sure they're properly working. I'm gonna check my heater, defroster. Make sure they're working. Wave your hand. I'm gonna inspect my mirrors. Make sure they are adjusted from within from the inside. Make sure they're not cracked, chipped, or broken, securely mounted. I'm going to check the windshield. Make sure it's clear and clean. No illegal stickers or debris preventing my view. Make sure it's not cracked, chipped, or broken. This right here has a little chip and a slight little scratch. Make sure anything you see that's defaulted, make sure you mention it. I'm then going to check my high beam, low beam, my left turn signal, my right turn signal, and then right here in the bottom, my four-way flashers. Alright, my gauges, I'm going to select my oil, water, and volt gauge. I see they're properly working. I see the oil gauge is properly rose. My water gauge is properly rising. And my voltmeter is charging. I'm also going to inspect my air gauges here. I see the needles are working because the air pressure is gaining. I'm going to also inspect my fire extinguisher. It has to be AB or BC rated. It's fully charged and has a locking pin. And it's securely mounted to the floor. Then I'm gonna have my 3 reflective triangles are right there, and my spare fuses are right there. Wait till it builds up pressure, and then we have the tug test. We're gonna check our tractor brakes and trailer brakes. Usually you'll have a full tank. I usually like to put it in neutral, have it build up air like that, but you could just wait until the governor cuts out, until you have a full tank, then you could do it. This is my way of doing it, so I build up the pressure. So, first, in order to check your tractor brake, in order to check your tractor brake, you have to release the trailer. So this way, the only thing you have is the tractor working. Put it in first gear and boom. Just rock it like that. Don't do anything more than that. Just rock the tractor. Next gear, you put it You're gonna tell the examiner, okay, the tractor brake worked, they held. Next, you're gonna push in the trailer brakes. And you're gonna push in the tractor brakes and release the trailer brakes. This is the trailer. Again, rocket works, my trailer brakes worked. Then you're gonna, for your service brake, you're gonna put both of them in. You're gonna go about 5 miles per hour, push on your brake, stop the tractor, put it in neutral. Tell the examiner, all right, my service brake worked. My tractor didn't pull to the left or to the right, indicating this, you know, it's a good test. All right.